Over in the Garden by Jennifer Ward, illustrated by Kenneth J. Spengler. This story has rhyming words and number words in it. Over in the garden, in the early morning sun, lived a mother praying mantis, and her little mantis one. Pounce, said the mother. I pounce, said the one. So they pounced and they hunted in the early morning sun. Over in the garden, where the sunflowers grew, lived a mother ladybug and her little beetles too. Crawl, said the mother. We crawl, said the two. So they crawled over petals where the sunflowers grew. Over in the garden, near the old shady tree, lived a mother dragonfly and her little dragons three. Zip, said the mother. We zip, said the three. So they zipped and they zoomed near the old shady tree. Over in the garden, on the damp earthy floor, lived a quiet mother snail and her baby snails four. Slither, said the mother. We slither, said the four. So they slithered and they slid on the damp earthy floor. Over in the garden, where the apple blossoms thrive, lived a colony of bees and their little bees five. Buzz, said the workers. We buzz, said the five. So they buzzed and they flew where the apple blossoms thrive. Over in the garden, where the vines and berries mix, lived a mother spider and her baby spiders six. Jump, said the mother. We jump, said the six. So they jumped through the garden where the vines and berries mix. Over in the garden, where the flowers grew toward heaven, lived a mother butterfly and her caterpillars seven. So they nibbled and they crawled where the flowers grow toward heaven. Over in the garden, by the old wooden gate, lived a mother roly-poly and her little babies eight. Roll, said the mother. We roll, said the eight. So they rolled and they curled by the old wooden gate. Over in the garden, on a long curly vine, crawled a group of soldier ants and their little workers nine. March, said the soldiers. We march, said the nine. So they marched and they crawled up the long curly vine. Over in the garden, where the moon shines again, lived a mother firefly and her little beetles 10. Glow, said the mother. We glow, said the 10. So they glowed and they flashed where the moon shines again. Here are some fun facts about the different kinds of bugs that were in this story. Ants. There are many different kinds of ants. They live in a colony and they all work together to find food and take care of the babies. Arachnids have 4 pairs of walking legs, so that makes 8 legs altogether. Spiders, scorpions, and mites are arachnids. Arthropod. These animals have hard, protective body cases and jointed legs. Insects, arachnids, crustaceans, centipedes, and millipedes can be arthropods. Bee. There are many species of bees. Some live socially, that means in a group, while others live alone. The bees in this story lived in a colony. They had a queen and worker bees. Beetle. Beetles are insects. They have hard wing cases, sometimes called a shell. It protects their other wings that they use for flying. They can fold up their flying wings and then their wing cases protect them. Beetles go through a metamorphosis or change before becoming an adult. We learned this last week in our guided reading story about fireflies. So from the beetle egg comes a larva. The larva turns into a pupa, and that turns into an adult. Bug. A lot of people use the word bug when they talk about all arthropods or insects. Real bugs have mouth parts, so there weren't any true bugs or real bugs in this story that had mouth parts. Butterfly. This is an insect that goes through a metamorphosis during its life, so that means it changes from an egg to a caterpillar, to a chrysalis, and then a butterfly. And we read about butterflies in our reading story last week. Caterpillar. Caterpillars come from butterfly or moth eggs. They eat and grow and grow. Then they change into a butterfly or a moth. Dragonfly. These insects have 4 large clear wings. They hunt other insects while flying through the air. They lay their eggs in water. The babies will live in the water, and they're called nymphs. Then they will change into adult dragonflies. Firefly. This is a beetle that makes a flashing light. They use their lights to find each other, and we know from our story last week to communicate and talk to each other. Insects have 3 main body parts: a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. They do not have a backbone. People think that there are 10 quintillion insects on Earth. Ladybugs are beetles that have bright colors. This keeps the predators away from them. Ladybugs eat aphids, which are other little bugs. Larva, that's when a bug is changing from an egg to a pupa. When an insect is changing. Metamorphosis, that word means that a change is going to happen. A nymph is a baby insect. Praying mantis is an insect that is predatory. That means it's a hunter. It hunts other insects. It has very large eyes that help it see its prey. It will sit very still and wait for another insect to come along. Then in a flash, it will pounce and eat the insect. Roly-poly. Some people call these woodlouse, sowbugs, or pillbugs. It's a crustacean. It's actually related to crabs and lobsters. And it has 7 pairs of legs, so it has 14 legs altogether. It curls up into a ball to protect itself.